Do you think that we live in a world where we romanticize evil? You know, where we normalize narcissism? You know, where we like where we just allow nonsense to happen? I actually think that we do, because we actually even have words for it, you know? Bambezela, msadu tshwara thipa ka mo bukhaleng, or whatever it is. I'm not Sutu, I'm not Betty, so I'm kind of like, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. We have words for these things because somehow I feel like we romanticize evil, we romanticize abuse, we romanticize, like we live in a world where we expect women to just hold on to nonsense sometimes. Anyway, let's get into vlogmas. One of the first books I read this year in the first quarter was It Ends With Us with Colleen Hoover. I didn't know who Colleen Hoover was, but I later got to find out that she is quite controversial. You know, there are people who love to love her. I think there are people who worship Colleen Hoover. They love to love her, and there's a side that actually loves to hate her. Look, I'm neither or. Like, I don't care for Colleen Hoover. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't care for her. But I think that if you are just getting into reading and you want something to whet your appetite, something that will get you and or usher you into reading, I would suggest that you read Colleen Hoover's books. I've read only 3 of her books. I'm not sure if I want to read more now. After reading 3, I've read It Ends With Us, All Your Perfects, and Reminders of Him. Reminders of Him was the worst one for me. I did not enjoy it. I read the whole thing, but yeah, I don't know if we'll have a video on Reminders of Him, but I really gave it like 2 stars. I think that's the only book I gave 2 stars. This year I gave 2 stars. But yeah, it's been a while since I've read It Ends With Us, probably around February or March, somewhere around there. But I'm just gonna read a little bit. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her. From working hard for the life she wants. She comes a long way from the small town in Maine, where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kinside, I don't know how to pronounce it, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. And you know what, ne? When something is too good to be true, it probably is. So when I first read the book, look, as I said, I didn't know who Colleen Hoover was. I was looking for a book that was a bit light, you know, and I had never, this is my first ever romantic novel that I've read. And so I wanted something light, I wanted something different, because I was reading a whole lot of nonfiction and just books that were like not romantic kind of books, you know. So this was my first romantic, so I just picked it up. And when I first read it, you know, I flew through it. That's why I would recommend it to a novice reader, or like someone who's just getting into reading, who's trying to dip their toes, you know, a little bit. You know, Colleen Hoover would be it. So I was kind of like, you know, I read it and I felt like I was enjoying it, and I read the whole entire thing. I think I flew through it. It hit me after I read it, and it was just stewing in that this book was just toxic. This Ryle character, like, you know, the drama of it all. Anyway, Colleen Colleen makes us fall in love with this Ryle character, who's a neurosurgeon, apparently a gorgeous neurosurgeon. Ryle falls in love, falls in love with Lily. They meet somewhere, and at first you're either thinking, Ryle is this great guy and very romantic, but then as we go, he starts like throwing hints of abuse, a slap here, a push here, and it seems like it was just a little push. It just keeps going and keeps adding up, and at one point I was rooting for him. I found myself rooting for him, and I feel like I found myself rooting for him because of the way Colleen Hoover wrote his character. I felt like she was romanticizing abuse or a toxic. I feel like she was romanticizing a toxic relationship. I've now just lost it, but I feel like she was romanticizing a toxic relationship, and and it goes on all the way till the end. It's only in the end where she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave. So I don't want to give the book away. Okay, what does it carries on to say? Ryle is assertive, stubborn, and maybe even a little arrogant narcissist. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. It is highly disturbing. And there's a point where they give a reason why he acts like that, and when you hear the reason, you might it's a very that when you hear it, you'll start feeling sorry for him somehow. But no, it's just go to therapy. If you got issues, go to therapy. Don't be throwing hands on women and all of that. So I gave this book a 3.5 stars because I just felt like it romanticizes evil. I said evil. I'm not being dramatic at all. I feel like it does romanticize evil. It romanticizes abuse. I feel like all of that. So 3.5 stars. I give it 3.5 stars. But yes, if you are getting into reading, also before I forget, the smart. I'm not I could read a book without smart and what do you call it, smart or spicy. It it doesn't have to be spicy. I don't have to hear all the details of ew. Call me a prude. I'm okay with being a prude, but I'm okay with reading books that don't have heavy scenes of passion. That's smart or that, yeah. But Colleen Hoover likes to describe things in very deep detail, and I don't enjoy that. I really don't enjoy that. I think I enjoy a different type of book, and I think as we go and as I share the books, you will kind of figure out the kind of books that I enjoy. But yeah, 3.5 stars. And as I said, if there's a book that I gave 2 stars, it has to be Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover as well. And the other book that I read, which was All Your Perfects, was actually my favorite of the 3. I kind of I cried during that book. I cried. I got angry. I went through all kinds of emotions, and that one I'm definitely going to review during Bookmas. But yeah, the first book was It Ends With Us. And can it end with us? Can it end with us? Let's not encourage women to stay in situations that don't serve them. This person was, spoiler alert, there's a point where she's pregnant and she gets head battered or thrown wherever. It just got very hectic and very dark a little bit for me. Dramatic, if you think I'm being dramatic, fine. But I feel like this book was super toxic, and yeah, I didn't enjoy the fact that it romanticized evil. But if you are looking for something that is an easy read, yeah, go for it. Ends with us. It will wet, it will get your feet wet, it will whet your appetite, and it will encourage you to read more and more and more, and you can get into deeper books after that. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow when we discuss the next book. My goal this year was to read at first it was to read 24 books. I then realized with all the responsibilities I have, there's no way I can read 4 books, so I decided to read 12, which meant 1 book for each month, and I am happy to say I passed the 12 mark. So I smashed the 12 book goal, and now I'm trying to chase, maybe we can get to 20. You never know. December is still long. It's still very long, so we'll see. I'll keep reading and I'll keep updating, but I read a whole lot, so it's more than 12 books that I've read this year, and judging by the 720-page book that I read, that is like 3 books in one. And there was another 600-page book that I read, and another one which was 500 pages, and another one that was 450 pages. Those are very thick books, so yeah, I think I kind of did well. So yeah, please, even if you're not into reading, join me. Please leave a comment down below. Support vlogmas, bookmas, talkmas. Even if you just leave a thumbs up, a heart, yellow hearts, please. I love me some yellow hearts. Leave me some yellow hearts just to say I was here, girl. I was here, I was watching, I listened. And if you've got something to say, if you've read It Ends With Us, what do you think? Oh, if you're a Colleen Hoover person, what do you think about her? Do you love her? Do you not love her? I don't think I'll be reading another book from Colleen Hoover. I think I've read enough to know that I feel like her perspective when it comes to love is just toxic, because even on what is it? The Perfect One that I loved, still, man, there's a whole lot of, it's just toxicity everywhere. It's just toxicity. So I feel like her view on love is just, it's crazy, it's jaded, like, nah. So I'm done with her books. I'll see you tomorrow.